Hey guys, welcome back to Crystal's Tarot. This is going to be a twin flame reading for November of 2020. And this is the first time I'm doing one of these. So if you guys like it, you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments. Also, to bring your energy in more, don't forget to subscribe. That way I can pick up on your energy a little bit better and your energy would be included with this reading. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start today by cleaning out our energy. So go ahead and inhale and exhale as it feels comfortable for you, and focus on the person that you are in or believe that you're in a twin flame connection with. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start off today by just kind of pulling our major arcana and seeing like the overall energies that that we have for your connection as a whole. For twin flames for November 2020. Thank you. I'm kind of getting an energy of like it's like a stop and go, kind of like you think it's going in a direction, but it doesn't seem to be going that way. And then so you kind of pull back a little bit and then restart again. It's very much of like a back and forth energy. It's not consistent at the moment. Twin flame connection for collective. Twin flame connection for the collective. We're going to have one more shuffle. Twin flame connection for November 2020. Thank you, Spirit. Twin flame connection. We have strength. Okay. And I also want to clarify, I'm going to somewhat do like the mirror reading. If you guys like how that goes as well, you guys like that view, let me know in the comments below. And I'll make sure to start including those more often as well. Thank you, Spirit. And the left side is going to be our twin flame masculine. And the right side will be our twin flame feminine. So the energy between the two of you, we have is Fool. Fool talks about taking a leap of faith and being able to like trust Spirit for the guidance and the movement going forward, to follow your intuition and just trust that Spirit has your back, and he or she, the Spirit will provide you with clarification, confidence, and the things that you need for you to be able to go ahead and comfortably take that leap of faith. On the divine masculine side, we have the strength card. So what this speaks about is the divine masculine is really standing in their power. I feel like they're also being very, they're not being very, like there's not much leeway. They're not meeting you halfway. They're really standing kind of like, I want to say an arrogant position, kind of like where they're really standing strong in what they believe, and they're not compromising. On your side, it's some of a similar energy. You have the Emperor, whether it's the feminine energy, but it's where you're acting in your power. You're kind of like calling the shots. I feel like that's probably why there's so much back and forth energy, because you guys aren't compromising. Both of you, the masculine and the feminine, are being determined and strong-willed in regards to how each one wants to take this leap of faith. And I feel like you guys are each making your own decisions, and you're not budging, you're not compromising, you're not willing to come to the table and have a conversation on how you can resolve that energy and meet each other halfway. Thank you, Spirit. Twin flame connection for November 2020. Twin flame connection. Twin flame connection. This will be our last shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. Twin flame connection for the masculine side. Twin flame connection. Wow, that's too much. Okay. We're not going to keep these, but we are going to read the energies. Like I always say, I'm not a reader who says, oh, it's too many cards, I'm not reading them. I always feel like if the energy comes out, it comes out for a reason. So we're going to review it and see what comes out as a whole. And then we'll put these cards back and see what else Spirit wants to provide in regards to each of your sides. So I hope you're comfortable because this is going to be a long reading. Okay. All right, so we'll review these in a moment. We're going to start row by row. So the first row, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Lovers, and the Three of Pentacles. So what this speaks about is there's not a balance. We're trying to bring in some sort of balance, but there's a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of conflict. And there's certain things that need to be cut away in regards to a love connection so that you guys are both able to work and build together in an appropriate manner. And then we have the Five of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and the Six of Wands. Okay. So what this speaks about is there's a lot of mental conflict in regards, and probably a lot of communication that is conflicting, potentially argumentative in regards to a love connection. But there is still passion there, but there's like a strong, there's a lack of moving forward. It's like really being stubborn and stern because you want to be a winner in a victory of some sort. And then we have the Five of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Sun card, and the Two of Cups. So somebody is not happy in regards to the loving connection. It's not going in the way that they want it to go. I feel like even though they're being stubborn right now, the masculine does have remorse for the situation being at odds right now. And then with the Knight of Cups, like he wants to provide movement. The masculine wants to provide like movement of love. And he's trying to find ways to communicate it. But he's having difficulty doing so. It is a connection that brings him great joy, and it's a connection that he feels dedicated to, but he's like really having a difficulty of communicating his feelings, communicating his emotions. I feel like there's a lot of hesitation in regards to how does he open up his heart and kind of appear vulnerable without looking weak. And then we have the Six of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So I feel like he's trying to move away from that energy of being so resistant and keeping everything internal. But at the same time, it's like it's an internal conflict and a struggle that he's having because he is passionate about the situation. He does love you, but he does not want to look a fool. He does not want to look weak. He wants to like really stand in that divine masculine energy. But at the same time, like when we're not being authentic, we're not fully communicating our truth. That's not divine. It might be masculine, but it's not divine. So he's realizing that, and it's starting to become a heavy burden for him to bear. So at some point, he is going to come and communicate like in a way that he's passionate about. But he's having a lot of resistance in regards to that right now. and he's holding on to that energy with the Four of Pentacles here. He's holding on to that energy, but it's becoming too much of a burden to bear. So at some point, you should expect the feminine, the divine feminine, should be able to expect that this masculine is going to go ahead and come. And I don't think he's going to like pour out his emotions like you might hope he would, but it's definitely going to be more than what he has in the past. Because he does love you, he does care about you, he does want this connection, and he realizes that if he doesn't like start to compromise in the ways that you need him to, he's concerned that he's going to like not ruin the connection, but where it's going to be tainted, and he wants it to be genuine and loving and upfront, open, and honest, but at the same time, it's something that he's fearful of. He does not want to look weak, and he doesn't want to give up his power. But I don't feel, I don't feel like you're wanting him to give up his power. I don't feel like the divine feminine is wanting him to, the divine masculine, to give up their power. It's more like, show me that you care about me. Show me that you're willing to build with me. Show me that you're willing to communicate with me and let me in. Because when we have a divine connection, it's us. It's authentically us. And there's not any walls up. There's not any guarding your heart, because you don't have to guard your heart towards the person you love and the person who loves you. Anything from the divine masculine's energy. Anything for the divine masculine's energy. Okay. Divine feminine for November. Okay. Divine feminine for November. Divine feminine for November. Divine feminine. Okay. All right. The energy that we're going to be talking about is the Six of Cups. So what this speaks about to me is it's a connection that is very nostalgic for the both of you. The way that I do my mirror readings is we have one person's perspective and the other person's perspective regarding the situation. And the situation is in regards to this this nostalgic connection. So in regards to the divine masculine, he has the Eight of Wands in the reverse, Judgment, the Devil, Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. And the divine feminine has the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Sun card, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so in regards to this situation that you guys both feel nostalgic about, he's refusing to communicate, and that's what's the barrier. He's refusing to communicate, and he's trying to make a judgment about his behavior in this connection that you guys have. But he realizes or is kind of torn between energies that have been negative for him, his past experiences that led him, and I feel like he might have followed his heart in previous connections before you guys finally connected, and that's left him feeling like he has to have his walls up. And the divine masculine also wants to have this opportunity to build something new, start afresh, but he's having a lot of difficulty of putting that, of thinking out, how does he do that? Whereas the divine feminine, she wants movement of communication. She wants to build things and grow things. She wants to communicate her truth and wants him to, the divine masculine too as well. The divine feminine wants to move forward in a passionate way and just have open communications and conversations about things that she feels like, or the divine feminine feels like, will bring joy and balance to both of them. So I feel like the divine feminine is more like in that nurturing energy where she just wants to repair anything, communicate things so that everything's clear and that there's not as much like muddied water as far as emotions and misunderstandings and situations that you guys, like your connection. Whereas the divine masculine, he realizes what you want, but there's hesitancy with that. But at the same time, he feels like he has to have his guards up, but he's realizing that that's not healthy for your connection. So he's trying to find a way to start afresh, to start anew, but he's struggling on how to move that thought process along, how to think of this connection in a more passionate way that's healthy for the relationship. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. So I feel like both of you guys, you want to be able to create something beautiful, something that is long-term and lasting in the relationship. I feel like both of you want the relationship to be stable and healthy, and to start bearing fruit that you guys both enjoy. But there's like, the divine masculine is like, look, I got my walls up. I just want you to understand this and accept this. Whereas the divine feminine is like, I love you, and if you love me, there shouldn't be any walls. And I feel like the divine feminine is confused between the actions and the feelings, and what communications that there has been. There shouldn't be any walls up. Like, you just want it to be healthy and move along. You want a lot of movement in regards to things that can be built. You want conversations to be opened. You want it to be a passionate, enjoyable relationship for the both of you. Whereas the divine feminine, the divine masculine, he wants that as well with the divine feminine, but he's concerned about looking weak and letting down his walls. I feel like he's kind of feeling like if he does let down his walls, he won't be looked at any longer as being strong and being a divine masculine. One more, sorry. Divine masculine. One more. Divine masculine for November 2020. Divine masculine for November 2020. Yeah, he wants to do the things that the divine feminine wants, but he's having a lot of internal struggle and a lot of resistance with that. We have the Death card. Page of Pentacles, divine masculine for November 2020. Divine masculine for November. Two of Pentacles, divine masculine for November 2020. Four of Wands. Anything else from the divine masculine? Okay. And he has the Eight of Wands again. Divine feminine. Divine feminine. Divine feminine. Yeah, this lack of communication and lack of just upfront movement, sincere communication is causing the divine feminine to just kind of feel like having her hands up in the air. Like, she doesn't even know what to do anymore. She wants to she feels left out in the cold and wants to be able to just move along forward in the connection or leave the connection. She feels alone. And she feels like she's in this alone. The bottom of the wand, the bottom of this situation, what we're going to communicate is the Four of Pentacles. So holding on to something too tight. So these are the energies that we're struggling with right now. Okay. this is in regards to the Four of Pentacles. It speaks about holding on to something too tight, or holding on to something that you should have let go already. And then it also is speaking to me right now of not wavering, like really standing firm in that energy and not compromising, not budging. So on the Divine Masculine side, we have the Death card, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Five of Wands. On the Divine Feminine side, we have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Hermit, the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Emperor. Okay. And you also had, the Divine Feminine also had the Emperor and their Major Arcana card at the front end. So what this speaks about to me is the Divine Masculine realizes that there's something he needs to let go in order to create this new opportunity to make it abundant, but he's struggling on balancing things out to be able to make this connection more solid and more sturdy. He wants to communicate, but it's an internal struggle for him to do so. Whereas the Divine Feminine, she's waiting for that truth. She's waiting for this movement forward, this progression in the relationship. And she's kind of feeling weary of continuing to wait. She's frustrated and tired of waiting. She just wants him to move forward in communication, honest, authentic communication. Even if either of the Divine Masculine or Feminine need to cry, whatever needs to happen to break down that barrier, she wants it. She wants movement. And the fact that she's not receiving it is kind of causing her to feel like maybe it's time to jump ship and like abandon the situation, because she feels left out in the cold by him not moving forward in the way that she feels like he should. And then we have the Tower, which speaks about like there's things that where the Divine Feminine is realizing that she I'm getting where there was things that you stood in your power with that you shouldn't have, or that you didn't need to stand so strong in. And there's leeway that you gave that you shouldn't have given at the same time. So you're realizing that there were both pieces of the puzzle of where you're being too loving and too giving and not receiving it back. And then there's other moments where you're being too forceful, too blunt, too direct, whereas the other energy might need it to be a little bit more calmer. And she's really trying to stand in her power and find a way to strengthen the relationship and allow it to grow and allow it to build. But at the same time, all this waiting is causing her to kind of like wonder, is it even worth it right now? Let's see, we have the Ten of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. So I feel like and this is a energy between the both of you. This is just like a little pre-message. I feel like both of you guys, it's becoming too hard to bear right now. And both of you guys just want to have an opportunity to love the other one. And just genuinely love the person for who they are and value them. And you both want something to celebrate. And you both want to like stand in your power and be that power couple and have people celebrate you. Like you want to be able to walk into a room and know that everybody's kind of, I'm hearing envious, but I don't feel like it's in a negative way. Like both of you want to step into a room and have all eyes on you, and for everybody who's looking at you to know that that's your counterpart, that that's your person, that that's who you're proud to be with. And you want to know that the other person feels the same way, which it looks like they do. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So once you guys can let down these barriers and move forward and provide your love authentically and openly, regardless of past hurts, regardless of walls that you've built, just tear it down and be your authentic self. Communicate openly and honestly. That's going to actually allow you guys to have a quick movement of love between each other. And you'll be surprised how quickly that the relationship starts to blossom and flourish, how quickly you guys both become comfortable in that energy and confident in your relationship. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, this is going to be our last mirror for our twin flame connection for November of 2020. Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine for twin flames for November 2020. Divine Masculine's energy Okay. Divine Masculine for November 2020. Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. Divine. Okay. Divine Feminine for November 2020. Divine Feminine. 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 Divine Feminine. Okay. And then the Six of Swords. Okay. So Six of Swords speaks about moving away to calmer waters, moving away from things that were once difficult, and whether it's your environment, your communications, your thoughts, and moving away from conflicting, difficult, heavy energy into something that's more fair, more balanced. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine, we have the Six of Wands, we have the Six of Cups, we have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the King of Swords. For the Divine Feminine, we have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Chariot, the Page of Swords, the Temperance, the Ace of Wands. Sorry, this came out in the reverse. I want to check and see if it's in reverse or upright. Yeah, it's in the reverse. And the High Priestess. So what this speaks about to me is I feel like the Divine Masculine, he wants to have this victory with this nostalgic connection, with this connection that he loves so much. He loves it, and it's very near and dear to his heart. He values your connection, and he spends a lot of time, like, it's difficult for him to sleep. He spends a lot of time, and I feel like he has a lot of dreams as well, that it like alerts him to his concerns. It's like, what if she leaves? And I feel like he's had dreams about losing you, and he spends a lot of time just sitting there thinking about the situation, thinking about you, thinking how he can bring in healing energy and help it grow. But at the same time, it's hard for him to do so because of his past hurts, and he doesn't want to be hurt again. But at the same time, the thought of losing you is heartbreaking for him as well. So he looks at you, when he thinks of the Divine Feminine, he's very confident in that. He loves that very much, and he's very confident in it. He knows that you're the person for him, but at the same time, he has all this past hurt. So he's trying to find a way to like really speak his truth, but he's having difficulty in doing it. Whereas the Divine Feminine, she wants communication. She's willing to fight for the communication, even if it leads into arguments. She feels like the relationship is worth building, is worth creating, worth spending time on. But she's currently not satisfied with where it's at, and she's kind of anticipating, how is it going to move forward? Can it move forward? And she wants communication. She wants strong, genuine, sincere communication. And she doesn't feel like the situation is balanced right now, and she's starting to lose passion and hope in the situation, but she's trying to rely on her intuition to expect that the situation can be healed and grow and become prosperous, because she genuinely loves her divine counterpart. She's just frustrated with the lack of movement, and she's concerned with, will it be able to move forward? Are we ever going to get past this where we can have communication? Are we ever going to get past this energy of where the Divine Masculine has his guards up? The Divine Feminine just wants everything open like throw all your cards on the table, basically. I love you, so I will accept them. Whereas the divine masculine is like, I don't want to throw my cards on the table. I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to open myself up to hurt. But at the same time, he's scared to lose his divine feminine. This is going to be the relationship guidance for the divine counterparts. Twin flame guidance from spirit. Twin flame guidance from spirit for November 2020. One more shuffle, guys. Again, if you're liking this, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to see more readings like this. If you are enjoying this mirror reading, let me know as well. Leave me a comment, and please subscribe so that we can pick up your energy more, and have hopefully stronger and better messages, stronger messages for you next time moving forward. Let's see. We've got one more shuffle. Divine counterparts for November. Okay, before we get into this, these are ready, but before we get into this, I just want to review the multiple cards on the table. If you've watched my readings before, which hopefully you have, this is basically Spirit's writing you a book. It's writing you a novel. And any repeating cards are like bold letters, highlighted items. Like they really want you to be aware of those energies. So we're going to start with the Divine Feminine first. On her side, for the Divine Feminine, you have the Emperor repeating twice. The Emperor is like standing in your power, but it's not in an arrogant way. It's like standing in your confidence, knowing that you have the tools to build and to grow things, knowing that you have the ability to manage a situation and be strong in it, but not overbearing. Let's see, what else do we see? Okay, the Sun card is not out here on more than once, but it did show up on the feminine's energy, and with that same deck, it showed up in a pre-message for the Divine Masculine. So I feel like this connection, it brings both of you this. It's like the happiest relationship that you've had. Like when you're with this person, both of you feel content. Both of you guys feel happy. Both of you, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, know that it's something worth valuing and appreciating. It's something worth being on a pedestal because it's authentic, it's genuine, it's nurturing, it's more than you've ever had anywhere before. And I feel like that's why the Divine Feminine is very frustrated for the lack of movement forward and the lack of progress with the Divine Masculine, because she knows that this is a beautiful relationship. She knows that this is where, like, it's where you fit, it's where you belong. And the fact that the Divine Masculine is allowing his concerns to outweigh his emotions and his fear to outweigh his judgment and his internal guidance system, his intuition, the Divine Feminine is just losing hope. And then also multiple times we have the Five of Swords out here. We have it with the Divine Masculine and we have it with the Divine Feminine. So I feel like both of you guys are having like this internal struggle. You guys are willing to fight for each other, but you don't want to fight each other for each other. So like it really speaks to me of like really needing that nurturing energy to move out, to come out and love each other, be authentic, put your cards on the table and appreciate the person and respect the person that they were able to do that. Like understand that divine counterparts, you're not always going to still see eye to eye 100% of the time. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be where everybody understands and feels the same exact thing and knows the same exact thing at the same exact time. That's okay. It's part of your growth process. Okay. You have the Knight of Swords out here multiple times for the feminine. So she really wants to communicate and she wants to receive communication. That is a strong, strong thing for her right now. Especially with the Queen of Swords out here as well. She wants communication. Like more than anything, she wants communication. She wants there to be balance and fairness. She doesn't want to have to leave the situation. She loves the divine masculine and she wants the situation to grow, but she realizes it can only grow if he's willing to do his part, and meet her halfway and give her what she needs, which is really communication, genuine, authentic, open communication. And okay, now we're going to go to the divine masculine. He has the the Eight of Wands out here multiple times. One's in the reverse, one's in the upright. So he wants to communicate, but he's not communicating. He wants to have like this passionate movement forward, but he's not putting in the action to allow it to do that. Let's see. The divine masculine's energy. We have the Six of the divine masculine has the Six of Cups in his energy, as well as the mutual energy. So he does feel this connection. He's just having a lot of resistance with allowing it to move forward, allowing it to pick up pace and do his part to allow it to move forward. We have the King and Queen of Swords out. It's different decks, but nonetheless, we have the King and Queen of Swords out. The Queen of Swords is on the divine feminine side, and the King of Swords is on the divine masculine side. And what this speaks about to me is the divine feminine wants this communication. She's willing to cut off any bullshit that's not truthful, that's trying to hide behind things, that's not being forthright and upcoming within the situation. She wants all the cards on the table. Let's talk about it and get it resolved, especially with her having the Emperor out here multiple times. She's willing to stand in her power. And even though she loves this divine masculine, if she needs to, she will allow the cut to be made. It will break her heart. It won't be something that she will be happy with, but she's willing to do it. But the divine masculine at the same time, he's thinking of how he can do it. He's struggling to be able to do it. And he knows it needs to be done. We have divine counterparts out here, obviously. But he's really struggling to be able to allow that communication to come forward. But I feel like he's getting closer and closer to doing it. And I feel like the divine feminine senses that, especially with the high priestess out here. She's sensing that he's trying to open up, so she's trying to hold out, but at the same time, she's losing her passion in the situation. She just needs him to move forward. The divine masculine needs to let the divine feminine know, I've been hurt, and this is how I've been hurt, whether it was by the divine feminine or other feminines in the past. He needs to just open up and lay all his cards on the table. It does not make you look weak, divine masculine, to be honest about your feelings. You need to be open with your counterpart. Otherwise, you're going to risk the loss of your divine counterpart. And that's going to be more heartbreaking than what you'll be able to bear. All right. Okay. So we have announcement. Victimhood, divine counterparts, Mother Nature, divine counterparts, okay, and shame. And then we have identity. So what this speaks about to me is he's going to be able to communicate at some point. He's working really hard on it. He knows it's needed for the situation. But he does feel he has had hurt in his past. And I'm not saying that the divine feminine hasn't. I just feel like she's more stronger to like take it on the chin and move on, because she's like trying to, especially with Mother Nature out here, she feels like it's something that, and then we have identity in the middle. So, which is the dual energies between the both of you. So his identity with the divine masculine, he has announcement and victimhood. The identity for the divine feminine is Mother Nature and shame. And what this speaks about to me is that the divine masculine is concerned to reveal his identities and to announce how he has felt like a victim in the past. because unfortunately in the society, masculine men are designed and taught in their upbringing that men don't cry, men don't share their feelings. However, we're in 2020, guys. It's time to grow up and move on. It's time to allow your feminine in. It's time to break down your walls, because it's great that you have them up in the world out there, but you don't need those up in your house with your divine person. Like, it's a loving connection. And I know I saw the Two of Cups for the divine masculine. So he sees this connection as in, like, he knows it's his connection. He knows that it's for him solely. So when you have a relationship like that, you don't need to hide. You don't need to worry about that person hurting you. You need to be upfront and honest. And if this person is doing things, if excuse me, if the divine masculine is concerned about the divine feminine hurting him, and she's displaying energies or actions or words that causes him to be like, hey, I'm having a little hesitation, a little concern, he needs to voice that. He needs to let her know so she can become aware of that. A lot of times people don't realize how the other person views a situation, and sometimes somebody reads into it more than what it actually is. So the divine feminine, she wants to nurture this relationship. She wants to help the divine masculine grow and heal. And the fact that she's being left on the outs is causing her to feel inadequate. It's causing her to feel a sense of shame about herself and the relationship. So I feel like you're really being encouraged, divine masculine, to open up to the feminine. Talk with her, be upfront and honest, brutally honest about how you feel, what your concerns are, what your past hurts are, so that way she's aware of what your triggers are, and she can help you kind of dissipate those. She can help those heal. Whereas the divine feminine, she's starting to feel inadequate because she's not getting the growth that she needs for this relationship to move forward, and it's causing her a large concern. It's alarming for her, and she's been hurt as well in the past. So she's like sitting on the edge of like, I love this person, I want to be with this person, I know that this is my person, but they're not meeting me halfway. So do I stay here and wait, or what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And that's causing her to feel inadequate and like a sense of shame, like she's not good enough for the divine masculine, which is not the case, but that's what is being displayed. So we're going to go ahead and end our reading here for our twin flames. Let's go ahead and close off this reading by cleaning out our energy. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Please let me know again in the comments if you want to see more readings like this. Please don't forget to subscribe, and let's close out our energy. Okay, so before we end, I did get a little message that we need to value the people that we have when we have them. Tomorrow is not promised. We have to speak up and show them that they're valuable to us, that they're important to us while we have them in our life. Whether it's a divine feminine or divine masculine, love is love. And when you genuinely and passionately, strongly love somebody, you let them know. Okay? I'll see you guys next time. If you want to see more readings like this, let me know.